Imagine a deep, dark underground cavern. Inside, a group of prisoners has been chained since childhood. They are positioned so that they can only face the back wall of the cave. Their legs and necks are shackled. They cannot turn their heads to see the entrance or each other. Behind them, higher up, a fire is blazing. Between the fire and the prisoners, there is a raised walkway where people carry various objects, statues of animals, plants, and tools. The fire casts the shadows of these objects onto the wall in front of the prisoners. For these captives, the shadows are the only reality they have ever known. They give names to the shadows. They hold competitions to see who can predict which shadow will appear next, and they bestow honors upon those who are the most perceptive of the darkness. This is Plato's Allegory of the Cave, written over 2,000 years ago in the Republic, but it has never been more relevant than it is in 2026. We are going to explore how we have built a digital version of this cave and what it actually takes to break free from the shadows of the screen. Plato's Allegory is a journey of the soul from the world of appearance to the world of reality. One day, a prisoner is unchained. He stands up, turns around, and is immediately blinded by the firelight. The transition is painful. He realizes that the shadows he once worshipped were merely low-quality copies of the objects on the walkway. But the journey doesn't end there. He is dragged out of the cave entirely, into the sunlight of the outside world. At first, he can only look at shadows and reflections in the water, but eventually his eyes adjust, and he beholds the sun itself, the source of all light and truth. He realizes that the cave was a prison of perception. Now, look at our modern world. We are the prisoners. The back wall of the cave is the glowing screen of your smartphone, your tablet, or your VR headset. The shadows are the curated feeds, the deep fakes, the algorithmic echo chambers, and the manufactured outrage that define our digital lives. We give honors to those who are best at manipulating these shadows, the influencers and the pundits who master the art of appearance. We live in a state of ikasia, the lowest level of cognitive activity, where we mistake images for the things themselves. Breaking free from the digital shadows is not as simple as logging off. The cave is not just a place. It is a state of mind. When the prisoner returns to the cave to tell his friends about the sun, they don't celebrate him. They mock him. They say his eyes are ruined by the light. They are so addicted to the shadows that they would kill anyone who tried to unchain them. This is the reality of our current social climate. When you challenge the digital narrative, when you suggest that the shadows on the screen are not the truth, you are met with the same hostility. Plato's cave is a warning about the comfort of ignorance. The shadows are easy. The sun is hard. To exit the cave in the 21st century requires a radical periagoge, a turning around of the soul. It requires us to move from the shadows of opinion to the light of knowledge. This means questioning the source of our information, understanding the fire that casts the shadows, the algorithms and corporate interests, and eventually seeking the sun, the fundamental truths of human nature and logic. We must realize that our digital tools are designed to keep us facing the wall. Every notification is a shackle. Every infinite scroll is a deeper descent into the cavern. But the philosopher's journey is one of ascent. It is the realization that reality is found in the physical world, in deep contemplation, and in the forms, the perfect, unchanging truths that exist beyond the flickering images. As we dive into this hour-long meditation, we must ask, are you brave enough to be blinded by the light? Are you willing to be mocked by those who stay in the cave? The digital shadows are safe because they require nothing of us, but the light of truth requires everything. It requires us to abandon our biases, our labels, and our fragile egos. It requires us to admit that the competition of the shadows is a waste of a human life. Plato didn't just want us to see the sun. He wanted us to become the sun for others. The cave exit is not a destination. It is a duty. Once you see the truth, you have a moral obligation to go back down and help others break their chains. even if they hate you for it. This is the Greek giant's blueprint for intellectual freedom. We are living in a time of unprecedented shadow casting. The fire is brighter than ever, and the walkway is crowded with manipulators. But the sun is still out there, waiting. It doesn't care about your feed, your likes, or your digital reputation. It simply is. And in the end, the only thing that matters is how much of your life you spent looking at the light.